How am I? She asked. Okay, I say. What I wanted to say was, I'm mad at the world. Not liking how I am, how I act. I wish I was better than yesterday. Wish a lot of things. But who I am, does this voice count? Maybe. But traffic says differently. My peers says differently. I am different. I give some F. But these days, the world looks at this moment like it does not gives a F. But who I am, 'cause I gives a F less about others and their thoughts. But when she asks, I say, I'm okay.
Welcome to the Smokin' Rhyme Show.
What are we here for? What do you truly want? When change is not enough, what do you do? What are we here for? What do you truly want? When change is not enough, what do you do? Let's talk about it, the problems we face. Let's fight hatred, no time to waste. The mind is naked, we can see it without an x-ray. Life is easy if we work together. We're the keepers, we're the people, we're all equal, filled with purpose. The past has pain, it'll drive you, even make you take aim. But together is where we should aim. Together is where we should. What are we here for? What do you truly want? When change is not enough, what do you do?
Welcome back to another edition of the Smokin' Rhyme Show. My name is Rex45.
Big E,
We're on the mic 10 p.m. to midnight with poetry.
music and that cannabis talk.
What's going on, Big E?
Well, you know, what do you do when it's not enough? I guess you invade the country next to you. I think.
I think
Right.
invasion is always a popular thing, right?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. It's a age-old tradition.
I'm just gonna show up while you out here doing what you doing.
Hey, look here, man. I got it on the agenda. I'm getting ready to invade my neighbor's yard. We're just going to take over their yard, rip the fence down. You know what I'm saying? If nobody's going to stop us.
F you.
Definitely.
F you.
So how was your week, my brother?
My weekend was sort of like that. I'm trying to conquer my trailer build, and you know it's a learning curve. So that is a process, and there's definitely moments where I wanted to flip over things.
Yeah, I have a tendency of breaking things during builds. So, you know, sometimes smashing a hammer on something clears your mind.
Yeah,
It really does.
it definitely does something.
Just as long as you're not hitting a person, but you know what I mean.
For sure. It might be called invasion.
Well, unless that would clear your mind, then maybe, I don't know. Whatever works for you.
No, we're not promoting hitting people, but definitely transfer negative energy is always a good thing.
Definitely.
Because if not, you would go mad and bang your own head off the wall, and nobody wants that.
Well, I got a rule. Everyone must vent.
Yes.
You got to vent. If you hold it in, catastrophe looms.
No doubt.
So, you know, I make sure I vent all the time.
All right. So that was my weekend. Just trying to get stuff done. Snow kind of got in the way for sure. But progress is what it is, man.
Yeah, we doing the New England thing. 60 today, 20 tomorrow.
Yeah.
Rain, snow.
Actually, you say that, and I think it was either yesterday or Saturday. I'm shoveling out the snow the day after, and it's just like, yeah, this is New England weather right here, where you have to, shovel out your path to get to, your shed or get to your garage or get to whatever thing you need to get to. You have to clear a path, and that's just the way.
There's been many, many snowstorms where I shoveled and was mad that I shoveled because 2 days later the snow was gone.
Yeah, exactly. But at that moment, you gotta get there, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So, so that was my weekend in a nutshell. But I feel good about the progress, and this is the last day of February, Black History Month.
Selling us short.
Selling us short. Black History is every day, all day, period.
Definitely. Just because it's not acknowledged doesn't mean it's not still happening.
So, but I got to talk about it because some folks view it in that way, where I view it differently. So we're going to have some fun. We got MC Lakeside calling in on 11 o'clock hour. It's early in the morning for him, which we really appreciate because he's in Nigeria. It's going to be like 5 in the morning when he's calling in. So he may be half asleep. Maybe he's coming from the club. We'll figure it out when he calls in. Definitely looking forward to it. We're probably going to play some tunes before he gets on just to get in the vibe. So tonight's going to be a good night. The last Monday in February. It's crazy how 2022 is already moving like light speed, right, Big E?
I wouldn't lie if I would say I would love to just advance to 2025. Let's just go past all of this real quick. And let's just start out freshman. You know
So, wait me up in 2025.
yeah, I'm saying I feel like, man, still before everything's still stabilized, I still think we're like a year or two out.
I can buy into that.
So I wanted just to, just poof, press the button. Somebody press the button for it fast.
Yeah, right. Just wake me. Just feed me and wake me 2 years from now. Cause
I'm saying not ridiculous. Fast forward times 2, not times 5.
Yeah. And I get what you're saying. Just a little bit. Listen, if you can afford to sleep for 2 years and not deal with the BS and save some muscle and maybe cells, who knows what you preserve in the process. I don't know. That's not a bad idea, E.
Yeah, well, you know, I started a new job.
Live for 2, sleep for 2. Live for 2, sleep for 2.
Hey, ain't that the vampire way?
Well, listen, E. I don't know, but I don't know about that side. But if you know what I mean.
Well, I started a new job, and I've got the longest probation in the history of probation periods at my job, and I'm just like, man, I'm not going to make the end of the probation before I have to call in sick. I'm trying to tell him right now.
It's going to happen sooner.
Yeah, definitely. Matter of fact, I got some things in the works already. So it's just funny, man, that when this pandemic started, we were in such a different place.
Right.
We had a whole bunch of different set of plans. And then, boom, everybody's life disrupted.
Mm-hmm. Putin invading Ukraine.
Hey, look.
Disrupting the world.
I'm on the fence about Ukraine. I don't know. We're gonna discuss that later.
All right. I'm curious what fence you mean when you say you're on it. So
definitely.
No doubt. You listen to the Smokin Rhyme Show. My name is Rex45.
Big E.
Let's get to it, man.
Yes, sir.
You're listening to the Smokin Rhyme Show. My name is Rex45.
Big E.
We're on the mic every Monday night, 10 p.m. to midnight with poetry.
Music and that cannabis talk.
Unless it's a race weekend, Big E.
It's a racist weekend? What?
Unless it's a race weekend.
Erased.
Yeah, it's possible that too. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, for sure.
And, anything is possible. It is the last day of Black History Month.
Yes, it is.
How you feel about that? Let me count the ways. Sounds like a poem.
Well, you know how it is. The people who gave us this month, gee, thanks.
Uh-huh.
I guess. I don't know. Who is it exactly that gave us a month?
Federal government, essentially.
I just appreciate if you just teach it in schools the way it is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There was history before slavery. You realize that,
Right.
So teach them everything.
Teach everything. Let them know everything and make them have a choice. Don't teach them some things and then make them have a choice.
Do the thing with the thing next to the thing.
Everything. Teach them everything.
Yeah. On the 22nd, we missed out on the Haley House in Boston. They celebrated their 56th anniversary.
We did.
And they welcomed guests there for a hot meal and conversation.
It sounds like it. We missed
I missed out on that, right?
Yes. We also missed on February 25th a tribute to Aretha Franklin, Queen of Soul,
the Queen.
at Berkeley Performance Music Center.
Berkeley usually puts on a pretty good show.
For sure. But we did not miss in Massachusetts. Most of the schools districts are ditching the mask starting today.
Yes, this is true. After was this the first day of school after vacation?
It sounds about right.
So we're gonna see what this does. I think they might have wanted to hold off for at least 1 week before. But I mean, whatever works, man.
No doubt.
Still sending my baby to school with scuba gear on and some goggles.
All right. We got the Pot Cafe coming up in a little bit. We got MC Lake Side coming up at the 11 o'clock hour. Very curious. I've been teasing this music for a little bit. I might drop one of the songs before you get on, and then we'll play the rest. But did you know, before we get into the Pot Cafe and all that, Big E, that Vietnam is the first country to decriminalize cannabis in the what am I trying to say here, in the Asian continent?
Yeah.
You knew that?
I don't know.
Yes.
But you could have brought that up in the Pot Cafe.
Well, we got this is the tease. We got the Pot Cafe coming up in like 2 minutes, Big E.
But yeah, well, we know in that area that's some of the strictest cannabis laws. Some having a penalty of death if found with cannabis. So
we've definitely reported that.
That's a very large step.
It is. So now you might just get felt up and touched up a little bit, like from Shaq or the equivalent of Shaquille O'Neal, coming in the paint.
What? I'm leaving that alone. Ain't nobody coming in the paint.
Big E, listen. I think you're taking that one a little bit too far. It's a basketball analogy, Big E, but I don't know where you're going with that.
That's what I was saying initially. Who just randomly brings up Shaquille O'Neal touching you in the paint?
Well, because if you got marijuana on you, the police officers are going to touch you up, right? So that's where I'm coming with it.
I didn't know Shaquille was known for touching people up, but
that's what if you come down the lane, he's going to touch you up.
Oh, okay.
Right, you know what I mean? That's what he says.
It's a different touch. All right.
Yeah. So exactly. Right, exactly. So I see.
Some things need explaining. We got you.
To some people.
We got you.
I got you. No worries. I don't mind explaining.
And for my hardcore drinkers out there, February 22nd was National Margarita Day. And if you missed it, it's not too late.
You sure? You might have leftovers.
It's not too late. You can always whip up a pitcher of margaritas. I'll be over there shortly.
I think you need to address Big E.
I need the salt on the rim of my joint, too.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pot Cafe. Roll, light, smoke, hey, roll, light, smoke, hey, roll, light, smoke, hey, roll, light, smoke. Break the spinners down in my rollie and I'm scrolling it up. We put the whole 7 in it, you ain't holding it up. Hitting 12 in the lane while we sparking it up. Rexy 45 and Big E, that's who the city show love. But the city been waiting, we been cooking and baking, planning, putting that cake in, plotting, moving and shaking. LeBron, Steph Curry with the rock, shake the pot. This a big boss, cannabis talk, cultural elevation. Ain't no telling where we taking this thing from here. It's 420 in this world somewhere. Outside, stay rolling it up. Up north, stay rolling it up. What's up? Ain't no telling where we taking this thing from here. If you feeling me, put one in me. West side, stay rolling it up. East coast, stay rolling it up. What's up? Roll like smoke, hey. Roll like smoke, hey. Roll like smoke, hey. Roll like smoke, hey.
I jacked that one up, Big E.
It's all good. It's all good.
People, I made a mistake. It doesn't happen often.
But the good thing is, welcome to the Pod Cafe, where Rex 45 is going to clear the air and steer you in the proper direction.
Yes. It was not Vietnam. It was Thailand.
Thailand, where you can get death for some marijuana.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
It's decriminalized in Thailand.
Yeah, so you might want to start planning your trip now for that.
Right. So I apologize 1,000 times. All right, Big E.
And anybody who already made plans to go to Vietnam, please cancel that ticket. Cancel it right now.
Get your credit and transfer it.
Try Taiwan. Taiwan is the spot.
That's it.
And I've seen plenty of locked up abroad. Taiwan is extremely tough on drugs. So
That's a big move, right?
yes, definitely. But I'm gonna touch home a little bit. Since the marijuana market in Massachusetts is thriving, and,
Bubbling.
trying to expand, I would assume if it is let to do so. We know that there's always going to be problems. There's always going to be issues, especially on the manufacturing side, especially when you're trying to manufacture at a high rate, pounds, baby, kilos.
I know nothing of what you speak of, Big E.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't know what you mean. I don't understand the words that are coming out your mouth.
But the biggest complaint at most manufacturers, and one manufacturer in what was that word I was going to use? Well, you know what I'm talking about. One in particular that I'm talking about is in Holyoke. That's the word, in particular.
Okay.
So, the city planners and city councilors are discussing the marijuana odor mitigation measures.
Odor mitigation?
Doesn't that sound really complex?
Sounds like it's thorough.
Marijuana odor mitigation measures.
Right.
This is in the wake of complaints from the smell of the cannabis manufacturing facilities.
Listen, any person that has a problem with the way cannabis smell, you need to question yourself. It is nothing more. I mean, not to say I'm a flower connoisseur. But few flowers I've smelled, marijuana, the aroma is one of the most pleasure
for smoking
aromas you can have.
Well, I can say this: I once lived behind the KFC, and I don't care how much I like chicken. I do not want to smell that all day long, non-stop.
Right.
Trying to tell you.
But bud.
So, I mean, I can understand, especially that it's being manufactured in large volume.
Yeah.
I could just imagine you wanting a breath of fresh air, but there is none.
Listen, when I walk into dispensaries or hop out my car, and I can smell cannabis in the parking lot, I can't explain that feeling.
But you can, because of the absence of cannabis at times, which makes your smell heightened.
It's a beautiful thing. So the fact that people are complaining about the scent of cannabis and not even the burning, I mean, we can debate about the fire and what that's like, but the actual flower itself,
just the scent of the
the scent of the flower, that's just so wrong.
Well, the city's health director, building commissioner, are going to appear at a joint hearing on Tuesday for the planning board and the city council ordinance committee, and they're going to discuss and their meetings are slated to resume on March 8th.
Right.
So, I mean, it's a difficult situation. I mean, on one hand, regardless of whether you smoke cannabis or not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You've ever been in a party and you smoked your cannabis, but you can't smell what yours smells like until everybody else is telling you what yours smells like.
Right.
it's just one of those things, man. I'm not mad at these people because they want some type of ordinance. I don't know whether that means they just need more filtration on the air systems in the building that vent air and recirculate. I mean, is it as simple as that? A simple fix as that? Or are we going even more complex than that and they need buildings sealed like their laboratories? So, I mean, we're going to keep an eye on this. We're going to try to bring some more information as information comes available.
That's what we do on the Smokin' Rhyme show.
And if you're confused, hit me up. I got you.
We got you.
Hit him with the number. Right?
You know, Big E. And I've been kind of talking about this off and on for a few shows. There are a lot of people out there that seems like they're listening to the Smokin' Rhyme show and they incorporating the information into your own show.
Really? Where did you get this from? Do tell.
No, that's all I'm gonna say. So I don't want to take over your.
Don't pour gas on the fire and then just walk away. Like, all right, enough.
Yeah, we are. We are. Because they know who they are.
They are who we thought they were.
But I didn't want to hijack your pot cafe. But we have to talk about the cannabis fun fact. So if you have more for the pot cafe, we'll do that. If not, we'll read the fun fact that we can check out on IG.
I got plenty. Go on with the fun fact. I got plenty for later too.
Right. So this is brought by Healing Hands Massage. Definitely check out Healing Hands Massage on the web. You can find them by just putting that in the search and book your appointment to get a massage. Local massage in Massachusetts.
He said in Massachusetts.
We have to say that because you know what I'm saying.
Boston area.
We are a global show, Big E. So someone might be in the UK or somewhere else trying to book, and they're gonna have to get on a plane. Which come to Boston. It's a beautiful city. So this is a cannabis fun fact. I don't know if you knew this, Big E, but among the many other plants in nature, there's no genetic relationship closer than that of hops and cannabis. These two plants are members of the same botanical family of flowering plants called Cannabis something C. While there are no cannabinoids contained in hops, further research show that there are similarities, and that goes well beyond how they look and feel. So beer and marijuana, Big E. That is a fun fact.
There's something in those hops. Trust me.
And definitely check out our fun facts on our IG page, Smokin' Rhymes. Just put it in your search. You'll find Smokin' Rhymes. Also Twitter, also Facebook.
Also Twitch.
Also Twitch and the likes. We got MC Lakeside coming up in about 20 minutes. Big E, you got anything, or is it time for me to drop the tune, as you would say?
Hey, I feel like a real cry poem, so
I got
do
you.
Do your thing and hook me up.
All right. You're listening to the Smokin' Rhyme Show. My name is Rex45. We're on the mic 10 p.m. to midnight with poetry.
Music and that cannabis talk.
Man, the fingers over there, E.
I got caught up. I told you I was waiting for a good cry one. It caught me off guard. Shouts out to the black boy.
No doubt. And the black girl.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's tough out there. Everyone, really, it is tough out there. But some for some others than others.
Especially if you're black and in Ukraine.
Right. No doubt. Right? They're not letting black folks leave Ukraine.
That's a first.
Right.
So you're not letting me leave? Okay. But what the ideas and thoughts behind that is, I have no idea.
Man, me either. And it's not talked about, obviously, on
CNN.
Yep.
Fox News. Nah.
Nope.
But you can't stop social media now, so.
Right. I do appreciate the fact that the folks in Ukraine are taking up arms and fighting for their country.
Really don't have any choice.
Well, I mean, you could have gone like Afghanistan and just to roll over. That's what they did, right?
I guess so.
When we left, right? Isn't that what happened? Taliban came and took over. So the people are taking up arms.
So we just wasted all that training and everything, and basically that is what happened.
Just getting you up to speed, man.
Well, hey, at least we learned our lesson.
Valuable lesson. But yeah, so I do appreciate that the Ukrainians are fighting for their country, because you have to. There are a few people out here who are mad, and we the people, the population, can't just allow this to happen. This is absurd. So I do appreciate it, because you have to fight for your country, if it's what I mean. That's what it is.
Yeah, well, we're seeing that their president is trying to fast track their NATO joining, and he signed papers,
Right.
and that was the main reason that Putin was saying he was doing this in the first place.
Well, correct, because he's not going to attack a NATO country, right? He could have. There's other countries that he could have attacked that's close by, and he didn't, but they were part of NATO. So it's definitely selective.
Well, he feels like if they become a NATO country, that's right there at their door, and it's a safety issue.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So we got MC Lakeside should be calling in soon, and we'll chat up with him and see what's going on. You listen to the Smokin Rhyme Show. My name is Rex45.
Big E.
We're on the mic 10 p.m. to midnight with poetry.
Music and that cannabis talk.
So it is interesting what's going on over there in Ukraine, and it's a fine balance that the U.S. have to tread, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other countries too as well, because there's laws that people don't want to break. But you gotta. Anytime someone's trying to just come over and take your property, you have to fight for it.
Yeah, well, like I said, neighbors. If your neighbor comes by and just chooses to take your driveway, and you don't fight, then he just will.
Right. No doubt. I'm gonna play some music, and we're gonna just check in to see what's going on, and we'll get MC Lakeside on the show. My name is X45.
Big E.
You listen to the Smokin Rhyme Show. My name is X45.
Big E.
We're on the mic 10 p.m. to midnight with poetry.
Music and that cannabis talk.
Man, that one right there was dope.
Already draw blood.
Yeah, no doubt. MC Lakeside is having some technical difficulties. We're hoping that he can call in, but we're gonna play some of his tune nonetheless, and because he's a dope artist. There's some good tunes so far, Big E.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. I'm feeling the vibe.
You're feeling the vibe. You approve.
Yeah, double thumbs up.
No doubt. So we do have this motorcycle corner of the show that we get to talk a little bit about motorcycles. And Big E, you might be wondering what's going on for motorcycles in February, where it's like 30 degrees out.
Not really.
What's
But
up.
do tell.
Do tell.
Sounds interesting.
MotoGP starts a week from today, probably Wednesday actually. So that's something to look forward to if you're a motorcycle enthusiast. Also, Daytona 200 is in March in Daytona, Florida. That's also something to look forward to if you are a fan. And if you're just looking to ride your motorcycle, well, you got the South to go down and ride to, man.
Now, don't confuse it with Daytona, Georgia. It's Daytona, Florida.
Daytona, Florida. Close to the water.
Definitely.
Lots of bikes. I'll leave it there.
Speaking of seasonings open, what's the word on the MLB? I hear they're shutting down. Still.
Yeah, I saw something about that. It seems like maybe a lockout.
Yes, definitely. So far, I mean, spring training right now isn't open, and there are people out there doing the damn thing.
Is that what you're saying? I'm not. You having technical difficulties too, Biggie?
I'm trying to figure something out. Why?
While the music is going on,
I'm using two brains right now.
Yeah.
Just give me a minute.
All right. Well, you can use two. You can't use three.
Well, I mean, if you add yours in, we're about three.
All right. I'll let that one slide.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, so definitely. So that's on the motorcycle front. There's a lot of motorcycle racing happening already this year. So it depends where you are, obviously. And I say in the USA where we're based, but I'm pretty sure in Spain and actually I know some guys that are going to Spain to do testing. So I know people are riding in Spain. But anywhere where it's warm, there's motorcycle
Testing
happening.
factory bikes or just their own bikes?
They're race bikes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're gonna race in either BSB or some other series. So people are testing their bikes to get it working out. I mean, the same thing. I mean, I was down in Florida. I'm going to South Carolina in April to test my bike before the series I'm competing in starts. So,
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast. Roll, light, smoke, hands, roll, light, smoke, hands, roll, light, smoke, hands, roll, light, smoke. Break the Spanish down to my rollie and I'm scrolling it up. We put the whole 7 in it, you ain't holding it up. Hitting 12 in the lane while we sparking it up. Rexing 45 and Big Gita soon the city show up. But the city been waiting, we been cooking and baking. Planning, putting that cake in, plotting, moving and shaking. LeBron, Steph Curry with the rock, shake the pot. There's some big boss cannabis talk, cultural elevation. Ain't no telling where we taking this thing from here. It's 420 in this world somewhere. Outside, stay rolling it up. I know, stay rolling it up. What's up? Ain't no telling where we taking this thing from here. If you feeling me for 1 minute, West Side, stay rolling it up. East Coast, stay rolling it up. What's up? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast.
Yes, indeed. Welcome. You know the routine. If you got one, smoke one, but I ain't going to tell you what to do. So since we're already touching on the war in the Ukraine, and we've talked about it a little bit, I feel like we're going to figure out, we're just going to discuss what effects this war in Ukraine has on the European cannabis industry.
mm-hmm.
Because clearly Germany, where cannabis is legal now, Ukraine is only like a day's drive away from there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Right down the street. So, especially with the majority of the cannabis being imported from other places,
Right.
it does seem like it will create some type of chain disruptions, or you know what I mean. So I'm figuring that if the war's going on and all these countries are on alert, I would have to say Germany's on alert, especially since they just invaded Ukraine. I mean, our cannabis, the cannabis deliveries are under scrutiny, of course, because at times of war, only necessity.
Right.
So it's interesting to see what effect it has, because right now there's really not much information. I mean, the places where they get their cannabis fund from, mostly of these places are unaffected by the war, which includes Denmark, Portugal, Spain, Holland, Greece, Colombia, Uruguay, Australia, Estonia, and Uganda.
Right.
So,
Wow.
I mean, these places are far from the war,
All right.
and their production shouldn't be interrupted. But like I said, Germany's only a 24-hour ride away, if not less. What effects would that have on deliveries to Germany during this type of incident? And we already know that war has a habit of disrupting everything as it is.
Right.
Changing how much it costs to transport, because you might have to come through a heavily military zone or area.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of logistics to it, but I don't think that that's going to shut down the market, because most of the places that make the cannabis are far from where the war is, unless the war comes to see them. We're coming to visit you, honey. Brought some friends by.
Right.
So we already know what the deal is.
Mm-hmm.
I hope everything works out in Ukraine. I don't want them to see anybody. I don't want to see anybody die in a war period, but we don't know what Putin's plan is.
Yeah, I mean, I think hopefully they continue to fight.
Yeah, but the man's name's Putin. I used to fight with this dude in middle school. His name was Stanka. So, when a Putin comes for you, you know what it is.
Dirty.
Shout out to my man Stanka. And in other news,
Cannabis news.
Other cannabis news, of course. The New Jersey governor says that the adult pot use sales should start real soon, and as we know, we've already announced plenty of states starting their cannabis legalization, and we always hear this. Oh, we're gonna start soon. We're gonna start real soon, but you legalized it, and as usual, you didn't create any outlets for purchase. There are no storefronts as of yet. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of people who already purchased land and property, and they're paying rent, leases, and mortgages in preparation for the opening of the cannabis industry. But as usual, there's all this red tape you got to go through, all these permits you got to get.
Right.
So what they don't understand is people are already spending their money. They're already invested in it deeply. And then them just kicking their heels and taking their time really is just a detriment to the whole cannabis industry. So, and I keep on saying this, that this is the reason why the illicit market is still doing so well.
Right.
Because how do you legalize cannabis and then make nowhere for people to get it from, and then be mad when other people are filling in where you're clearly falling off? So, I mean, thank you, government, for keeping that little side hustle for the peoples, because we already know once you get your storefronts up, because that's really what it is. You're posturing to get your cousins, and we've seen how cannabis licensing has been going in the past, and we've seen how people that opposed cannabis at one point, all of a sudden they own 3 dispensaries. How is that even possible? And then we also have all these people on the cannabis commission boards who were against cannabis, who aren't doing anything to help the cannabis industry work smoothly or to help people to even get into the industry. They don't care. They're really there just to hinder. What other reason would you appoint a person who was against it to the actual board to help it prosper? It's not. So,
You listen to the Smokin Rhyme Show. My name is X45.
Big E disgustedly.
Let's get into some music. You got more for the Pod Cafe?
I do, but you know what? I feel like we say the same thing every week. Legalization, slow rollout, no dispensaries. Supposed to have these equity programs that we don't see. Police are benefiting more from tax money from cannabis than any other area. It's just crazy. So maybe I do need a song.
Listen to the Smokin Rhyme Show. My name is X45.
Big E.
We're on the mic 10 p.m. to midnight with poetry.
Music and that cannabis talk.
Man, where does the time go?
Man, look, between technical difficulties and other things.
I do want to shout out the sponsors, Woodcraft, Vortex, Hindle, On My Body, Healing Hands Massage, HY Boston, a.k.a. HY Clothing. Then we got it all covered.
And we're going to see if we can reschedule that interview.
No doubt.
Work the bugs out of it.
Yeah, for sure, for MC Lakeside, because we played 3 of his songs. He's a dope artist. And sometimes it's just technical difficulties. It is what it is.
Definitely. You know how international is.
All right. Shows are recorded. You can definitely check them out on Smokin Rhymes on all the platforms. Just Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, and the likes. YouTube as well. So definitely check us out on YouTube, Twitch. Shout out to all the folks that are viewing on Twitch. Shout out to all the people all around the world that's tuning in. Definitely appreciate it. My name is X45.
Big E.
Anything you want to say, man, before we tap out?
Just remember, tomorrow's March 1st. So that means Fat Tuesday.
Okay.
Mardi Gras time.
Okay.
You know, you want to gorge yourself before Lent starts.
Mm.
You want to fast.
All right. Well, that's Big E promoting that.
Yeah, for sure.
No doubt. We'll be back next week with more of this. My name is Rex45.
Big E.